Good evening, guys. I'm William,
And I'm Jacob.
and this is the Methodical Thinkers podcast, where we think way too deeply into everything. Welcome, guys. In this episode, we're just going to be doing an introduction to everything, and towards the second half, we are going to be having this fun segment where we just talk about strange history that some of you may or may not know. But for right now, let's just go straight into it, and we are going to just talk about ourselves. So take it away.
So I thought maybe we should start. Well, I'm Jacob, and my
I'm William.
co-host is William. I thought we would go into how we met each other.
Hey, no, that's a good idea. Can I tell the story? Tell.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. I can start off. So, me and William met in the 7th grade.
Yep. We're seniors in high school right now, by the way.
Yeah, we're seniors.
And so that's like...
So that's about 5 years.
5 years. Yeah, not sure. 5 years strong. We're like the Smosh guys, you know?
Yeah.
Best friends.
Too bad we didn't start this like 5 years ago. Yeah. We met each other in 7th grade. And it's so funny, this story. We want to tell the story about how we met each other.
I grew up in a very... I was a very innocent child back in the 7th grade. It took till about high school for me to kind of grow out of my shell. I'm still trying to grow out of my shell, but back then I was a very innocent little boy, and I didn't know the concept of homosexuality. So what happened was I walk up to this guy, Jacob, because he's with some people that I was talking to, and I walk up and I massage his back and like his shoulders.
Yeah, so like he grabs my shoulders and like massages my shoulder blades with his thumbs. And just like kneads my shoulder. I barely know this guy. Like I've seen him around. Like this is like the 3rd day of school.
Yeah, 3rd day of school.
And like I don't know his name. I don't know anything about him. It's just William. And I had a friend named Marcus as well. I was friends with him, and he did that to Marcus as well. And just, usually you'd be weirded out by it, but we were like, okay, this guy's kind of cool.
A little gay, but I mean...
Yeah, we made gay jokes. So like, oh, this guy's definitely gay. But like, I knew he wasn't gay because eventually I had a discussion with him. But, actually we talked. But
and then we went through a whole phase. 7th grade, we were arch nemesis.
Yes.
Not arch nemesi, however you pronounce it.
Yeah.
But by about like 8th grade and 9th grade, we became friends, and
so we weren't really friends in the 7th grade. Excuse me. We talked, but we didn't really engage that well. Excuse me. But in 8th grade, we really became friends. Closer we talked a lot in the 8th grade, like we were acquaintances at school, school friends, but we weren't really real friends. But at the end of the school year, around April, we had this project that came up.
It was a science fair.
Science fair.
Sorry to interrupt.
It's called the Invention Convention.
Yep, and we made it's basically it was like a little cannon made out of PVC, PVC pipe, and it shot marshmallows, and we got 100% on that project. So
yeah, the idea behind it was it's really dumb.
But it was like to basically it was literally just to make an invention, and it was like an option, like you can create it.
Yeah, we didn't have to make a prototype.
Basically, like 85% of people didn't even make it, and we were the only group that had our thing working.
Yeah, it actually worked. So the idea of the project itself, like the food cannon, was, what if you're too lazy to get up and your friend wants like a chip or something? You could just shoot the chip across the room.
Just full send it across the room, you know.
Way that we shot food was putting rubbing alcohol in the back of it and using a grill lighter to shoot it, creating like a little explosion in the PVC pipe, and the food was always like
Excuse me.
super soaked in like alcohol. Like
it wouldn't have tasted good if you tried it. It would have been.
And we had like 3 successful shots
like
out of it.
Everclear poisoning,
or yeah.
It's a good story how we came together. You know.
Yeah.
It's kind of surprising how we're even here right now. If you really think about it.
Well, yeah, it's pretty remarkable because
there are some people who go
5-year friendships. Yeah, it doesn't last. But yeah, and we kind of had our ups and downs through the freshman year and stuff, but we stuck with it.
Yep.
And yeah,
there we are.
Yeah, we're still in high school.
Yeah,
like we said, we're seniors.
We're about to be. I think it's like 6 months, and we're gonna be completely out of it. We'll be.
Yeah, we have about
6 to 7 months. We'll be graduated.
About 7 months left we're high school, and we're very excited to go to college. Well, the plan is that we're going to roommate together, of course, so we can continue this great podcast.
Yeah. So we're also humans like everybody else. So we have a lot of things we like.
Yeah. One of my interests that I'm really interested in is computers. So since 8th grade, I was introduced to computers by a friend named Ben, and he showed me the CMD program. And after that, it sparked my interest in computers heavily. And I've been working on coding, web design. Working on working in that type of business. Also cybersecurity. That's been a huge interest. I'm actually planning on going to college for computer science. And yeah.
I'm really into literature and reading. Yeah, I'm one of those people, but I'm not like a liberal reader. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not into books like Simon vs. the Homo Sapien Agenda. Sorry guys. But I'm a pretty big bookworm. That's what I read. Some of my favorite books, right? One of my favorite books right now is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho.
Mm-hmm.
And I see books as sort of like a escape. I guess it's a sort of whenever you're feeling upset or just not really excited about what's going on, or you're not really particularly happy with what's going on around you. The stories that are presented within books seem to be just a way for you to experience something else and to just get out of yourself. Would you think you'd say the same?
Yeah, I would. One of our shared interests is reading as well. I really involve myself in reading nonfiction books about I'm a physics nut as well. So I read a lot of books about Einstein and stuff that involves quantum.
Yeah, he's really into a bunch of science. You're into chemistry stuff.
Yeah, as well. Yeah, I'm kind of.
He has a little lab going on.
Yeah.
Dude, okay. One of the funniest things about his room is that under his desk he has there's the gallon water jugs. It's milk jugs, but you can also put water in it.
Yeah, it's a water jug.
And the first thing I saw when I walked in to film to record today is there's a jug under his desk that's labeled chem water. And I just thought it was funny. And it's just, I think it's interesting. Unfortunately, because of my high school, I never got to be interested in chemistry because I'm sorry if she hears this, because she might. Chemistry teacher wasn't as in depth about everything, so I wasn't really able to get into it. But I do find the stuff I do know about it interesting, and I love the sciences. And
yeah,
I think it's probably because it's one of the more practical.
Well, yeah,
things
for sure. It's it's a field that you could definitely go into and make good money.
I'm into the human body stuff like that.
Yeah,
I think it's one of the
anatomy.
more. I think it should be one of the most important things.
Oh yeah, that's another real topic that I really like is like the medical field.
Yeah.
I personally would not go into the medical
Yeah,
field.
the medical field is becoming like
That's
oversaturated. All like teachers today are saying like, it's kind of like back in the '60s and '70s. They're telling everyone like, get a liberal arts degree.
yeah.
And now everyone got a liberal arts degree, and now everyone's struggling to get a job.
Yep.
Like my parents could testify for that.
Liberal arts degree is
My mother got a
pointless
liberal
now.
arts degree. I think she got a liberal arts degree. She got something in like literature.
Yeah.
I think.
So like
She'll probably yell at me when she listens back to this.
the medical field, it's like oversaturated. I love the medical field. I really do.
It's interesting,
But 9 years of college, that's ridiculous. That's a lot
it's a lot
of years.
I mean, yeah, you'll make money, but like, what happens if you get tired of it? You know, all that time and effort.
That's 9 years of education and then internship, and then just to make around 120K a year, when I could be a computer security analyst where all I have to do is sit at a desk for 8 hours a day, don't have to intern at all, and I just click like 3 buttons. And now someone out there is probably going to hear this and be like, computer analysts do a lot more than that. I'm sorry, I know, but you know,
Keeping it brief.
yeah, you know, that it's not as, my point is it's not as hard as being a doctor. And you know, yes, I'm in charge of keeping people's data safe, but it's not as like severe as keeping someone's lives in my hands.
Yeah, and then for me, I don't consider myself squeamish. Like,
Neither do I.
But like I can see I'm not gonna like look at a cut on my wrist and like die.
Pass out
But
because you see
I don't
blood.
think I'd be strong enough to be like a doctor. You know, people who are doctors, they're pretty. They must be pretty like strong mentally to handle stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I actually have an interest in like that type of stuff, like
Really? Do you think you'd be a
injuries.
surgeon?
Yeah, if I were to go in that field, I would go into like surgery, cause like gore doesn't bother me at all. Like, in fact, it interests me. Seeing how like certain accidents happen and how they actually fix what happens. Because like when you see like someone blow their hand up by like a firecracker, it looks like the worst thing in the world. And like 2 things come out of it: they can either save your hand, or they have to say goodbye and amputate it, which, you know, it sucks.
You find that interesting?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see their ways that they can fix it.
Not. I mean, nowadays they're coming out with like prosthetics, so
That's true. 3D.
There could be a technical third option.
Yeah.
I'm also actually mildly interested in the computers too, if I didn't mention that already.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like super super warm about it, but I do enjoy it. We both have our own towers.
Yeah.
It's a pretty nice hobby.
Yeah.
Nice hobby.
I mean,
So
playing games and stuff.
I know this is way off, but for books, what do you think your favorite is? Because I've actually never known.
My favorite.
Favorite book that you've ever read?
Mine.
I said mine. It's Alchemist.
The Alchemist. Let me think. I mean,
Well, let's start. Like, do you like fiction or do you like nonfiction?
I really like nonfiction, but I think like if I were to go with like fiction, it'd be The Outsiders.
You like The Outsiders?
Yeah, The Outsiders was a really interesting book to me.
Really? Isn't it the one about the greasers?
Yeah, it's like
I actually read that book. It's pretty interesting.
yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of speaks to me in a way that like talks like, okay, so like I have I'm kind of like the rebel, I guess.
Yeah, I was about to ask, do you consider yourself rebellious in a way?
I mean, I'm rebellious, but like my parents don't really have like restrictions on as rebellious I can be. You'll hear in like later episodes about like the things that like my parents. I know my parents are probably gonna hear this, but like There's so many things that my parents don't make sense on, but
I don't necessarily like all the rules that are presented to me. Obviously, not everyone's gonna like.
oh yeah, no,
everything.
yeah, true.
But I do have a respect in some way to just follow them. I'm not okay for all the theorists out there. I'm not like a conformist,
Oh yeah,
but you have to have respect for some rules that are
yeah.
presented.
Like I respect what my parents.
Because as much as we don't want to think about it, there's a reason why
There's rules.
rules exist.
That's why you can't go outside and murder people
Yeah,
for a reason.
or else everyone would be going out and murdering people for whatever reason they wanted to.
Yeah, that'd be pretty tough.
So, how would you consider yourself social? You got like a lot of friends. You think?
Like
You more of like an extrovert, introvert. Where?
I would definitely say that I'm more on the extrovert side, but there's a phrase that a lot of people use. They call it an omnivert.
You're an omnivert, yeah.
I would say I'm more of that
I think,
because
honestly, I think a lot of people.
Mhm.
I don't.
There's no one person that's completely extroverted and one.
Because like for me, I'm technically like there are people that. Okay, for those of you who don't know, an extrovert is somebody that gets energy from doing social activities, while an introvert is someone who gets drained of energy. Well, energy in air quotes.
And
People like to mix it up where it's like you're extroverted, you're social, introverted, you're not. That's not how it is. It just depends on how draining it is for you.
yeah, and like for omniverts, it's like it's more neutral. But you still need like the separation. Like for the omniverts, like I still need my private time. Like
Yeah.
I need to be alone for like at least an hour.
If you're someone that doesn't get drained socially, or you claim to be, you're probably lying, or you must have a really big patience.
But I also really like hanging out with friends, and I'd rather hang out with friends than be by myself.
Yeah, same. I hate being by myself like for a long period of time.
Yeah,
Or anything.
like
The longest I've been without doing anything and just staying with myself has probably been like a month, and
hmm
it's you go crazy a little bit the older you get, I think.
well, yeah, especially now that we're in our prime, we're in our
Excuse me.
youth, so
Sorry.
we get to do a lot more things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you would consider yourself more.
I'm more of the introverted side,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not exactly like I'm not like a person that stays inside all the time. I would go crazy. No,
Yeah.
just for me, it's just I keep my friend group kind of small for right now,
Yeah.
and I think I like it that way because I've come to realize that like for any of you that are in like high school or you're in a situation where there's like a popular person that has like a lot of friends, what you'll soon to find out is that a lot of people who claim to have a lot of friends, I mean, most of the time they feel the exact same way as you do.
Yeah.
Because the real goal in social interactions, I feel, is like you want that one person to care about you and or a certain group of people to care about you. Wow.
Quantity over quality.
Yeah. Quantity.
Well, quality over quantity. Yeah.
I don't know why I repeated you out. Quality over quantity is what most people will desire.
Number one with friends. Having more friends doesn't make them better or anything better.
Especially in like the social, with like social media and stuff. It's about the idea about like reality versus image, where it's like someone may look happy with all their friends on like the gram and Snapchat and stuff, but they're most likely just as.
Yeah, they actually say that Instagram is actually really bad for your mental health, especially if you have self-esteem issues, because you're seeing people have whenever you see someone on Instagram, they're showing their best life.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, it's going to especially like when you look at yourself and you're like, wow, my life isn't as cool as that person.
I could testify. I've had
That
bad
experience.
self-esteem issues because I see other people, having fun, having a lot of friends.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, once you come to realize that it's all arbitrary and honestly faked.
Yeah, on Instagram especially, it's definitely faked. I mean, if you look at my Instagram, I mean, I mean, I definitely put out a front. I
I mean,
I try to
yeah,
put
why
my
wouldn't
best
why
photos
you
out
know
there.
that's the whole concept of like spams is they try and show their air quotes like real self, but even
Yeah.
that isn't like necessarily
Yeah, even then, like
real.
my yeah, my spam is like I actually still selectively choose what I put on my spam as well.
So yeah, it's just if you're out there and you're just feeling like just because you don't have a lot of friends and that you're not as cool or whatever, don't worry. The
Yeah.
people who have a lot of friends are just as depressed, even if not more.
And just like just remember this, like especially if you're planning on going to college, you're going to be in a completely new social environment where
Like
it literally does not matter. Like high school is such a small part of your life that after high school, like you could literally talk to your parents.
Like 50 years.
Ask your parents if they still talk to their high school friends.
They'll
They
probably talk to like
probably don't, or if they do, they probably just talk to one.
literally the only one that my mom talks to. Her name's actually Bonnie Hunt. She's actually an actor. She was in the Beethoven movies, the Disney Beethoven.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the only person my mom really talks to from high school. So
Exactly. So like once you're in college is where you get your real friends.
and we haven't necessarily been there yet, but just based off our experiences around it and just all you have like you said, all you have to do is ask your parents. It's a completely different world
Yeah.
out there.
So yeah, college is a pretty exciting place to go.
You know what's completely like messed up is the fact that like you have like kids that are depressed in like 6th and 7th grade about this type of stuff, and it's like,
Oh yeah.
like they're in for a new world that they're getting depressed over that type of stuff around that age, and
Yeah, like I
I know this is going off topic, but
well, I mean, yeah, we can run with it. Like that's always a question to me. Like you'll get these like 11-year-olds that are like depressed. I'm like, why?
yeah, it's bad. It's like bad, bro. I think it's the fact that I think there should be a philosophy of when you should give. I think it has a big part of why goes back to social media, I believe.
I mean,
Like
yeah,
the
I would definitely
phone,
say that.
listen, I love my phone. Elon will call me a cyborg for using my phone, but I like my phone.
Yeah.
Okay, Elon Musk, by the way, if any of you don't know who I met by Elon. But it's just like I got my first phone when I was in high school. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't
same.
know what my life would have been like if I got my phone in 6th grade.
I got my phone a year ago. I was a junior when I got my phone.
Like a real phone. It's like, and I know we're sounding like people from like the 80s.
Yeah, we're not 90s
We're not
kids.
90s, yeah. We were born
from
in
2001.
01.
But here's what I will say. Anyone born after like 2000 and I want to say 4 is like
Completely different.
a phone nut. They had phones when they're like 8.
Dude, and I hate seeing. It's just like I think there needs to be like an age, not like a law, federal law age. Like you need to give them this. By it cannot be.
You can't
before
own a
this date.
phone until you're like
No, it shouldn't be
at
like a
least
federal
12.
law. But I'm just saying there should be like a unspoken rule where it's like, okay, you have around this age. It's probably not the good time to give them a tablet.
Yeah, like when you see like 4-year-olds have like
tablets,
like
the stroller,
the brand new like Apple iPad Mac like Air like that what like
it's just
mental.
parents not caring. Like I think they see it as a way to like get the kids to do something so
like
that they
distract the kids.
Yeah,
I mean, and even then that's really bad because like
that can't be healthy for the brain, can it?
No, I mean I wouldn't
brain.
I wouldn't think it would be healthy. I mean, you're stealing quality. You're replacing quality time that you could be having with your child with a tablet.
Exactly.
Like a father could be out in the front yard, playing catch with his son instead of handing him like a stupid tablet.
Like even just like reading. I know I'm biased about this because I like reading, but even reading a book inside
Yeah.
is a better quality time than giving them like Candy Crush on the iPad.
Exactly.
Or like it's
So bad.
yeah, it's just how society is right now, you know.
Mm.
And you know, maybe we don't live in that perspective. We didn't have that as a child, so maybe we really can't testify that much. Maybe we're suffering from, I don't know if this is the real word, generationalism.
Yeah, we played outside when we were kids. We were forced outside.
I went to the park.
Yeah, I was forced to play. Well, I wasn't forced. I wanted to. Like, I got, my form of punishment when I was a kid was you couldn't go play outside with the neighborhood kids. That was my punishment. I would get grounded from playing outside. Like
now it's grounded from the tablet.
Yeah, get outside,
Get
kid.
outside.
Wow, you gotta kick rocks.
But then in some areas, I could see why going outside probably isn't the best thing. Like when I was a little kid, I couldn't play outside of my road. I had to go to a park because especially the city we live in, it's not the safest for
not
75% of the state. It's not the safest unless if you're in a neighborhood that's full of kids, which is rare.
Yeah, like, I mean, I was only allowed to play outside, like, the front yard. That was, like, the furthest I could play.
The neighborhood I lived in just...
Though that didn't stop me from, like
I would play in the
walking
I would play in my
block.
backyard a lot. That's what I would do.
Oh, yeah, same.
Yeah, I was...
I would invite friends over.
I used to play with Star Wars action figures in the dust. Start, like wars.
We got a little segment for you guys, so you guys aren't bored out of your minds hearing about ourselves. This segment's about strange history that we've researched on. We have about 4 topics for you guys. And
we're just going to preface that we do have the sources, the articles, for all the stuff we found. So don't worry, we're not plagiarizing or copywriting anybody.
Yeah, so the first story we have here is the tree that owns itself in Athens, Georgia. A man named William Henry Jackson cared so deeply about this tree, he deeded the tree to itself back in 1832.
Wow.
Now, sadly, the original tree is no longer there because the original tree fell over on October 9th of 1942.
Can I pay F? Can I press F to pay respect to the tree?
Yeah, pay F.
Press F.
Press F for
press F in the comments for the tree.
The belief is that the tree fell victim to root rot. So
what does that mean, root rot?
Root rot is where the roots eventually just decay.
They just
and no longer support the tree.
Is that why it'll become dry?
Yeah.
Just fall over. Okay.
It's actually believed that the tree was dead actually a few years prior to it falling over.
Still just stood.
It was supported by the roots. Now, the interesting part, the good news, is that the original tree that was there was an acorn that fell, and someone saved an acorn and planted that tree. So technically, there's an heir to the deed itself. So the father tree technically has a son, and now the son currently is in the same tree. It's in the same spot as the father tree, and it's still there today. It's been around since 1942. They actually started growing it before 1942, but
it grew to its full height.
Now you can go visit it. Yeah, you go ahead.
Does it have like a plaque?
Yeah, they have.
So how is it deemed to own itself? Is it like I might have not caught this. Is it like a charter, or is it like a deed that just says this tree owns itself?
So, William Henry Jackson, he owned the land that was there, and he decided, I don't want this tree to be taken out.
Wasn't it because he just loved this plantation?
Yeah, he really he loved the tree.
And the tree.
Because it was very big. And, some people have fixations on objects, even plants. So, yeah. Any thoughts?
I mean, when I first heard this story, I laughed really hard. I thought it was pretty funny. I'm just confused how it owns itself. I don't understand how that legally works.
So,
What loophole do you think was found?
well, there's technically, animals can own deeds to things, right?
Really?
So, there is a woman. I don't know. I don't remember the story in detail, but there's a woman that was a millionaire, left her fortune to her cat. Didn't
Really?
in her will. So this
Yeah.
cat is a multimillionaire.
Like right, it's still alive.
Yeah.
Right now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So the lady didn't even have any kids, so she just
No, she had family. She just didn't.
she just gave up. Wow.
Yeah, she did not. Yeah, just imagine like.
So deeds don't really have that many restrictions. It's just
No, it's
so like let's say like there's a jacket. So that jacket that's the right of you. If I felt like it and I died, I could give all my stuff to that jacket.
yes.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, yeah.
That's wow.
Yeah.
So my story. I went on more of the freaky side. It's gonna be based on seances because,
Well, that's
as most of you have already heard of, there's a game. It's a game called the Ouija board, right?
Mhm.
And it's a misconception that its purpose is to just say something in response to you magically, but based on pop culture, it has been used as a sort of Satan demon. Demon game, like the Catholic Church literally like made a denotation for the board. But for those of you that don't know, a Ouija board, the way it's built is it's like a regular cardboard board with letters on the top and numbers on the bottom, and it comes with this little plastic circular piece. It's called a platchet. I don't know how to really pronounce it, but it's like a platchet. And what happens is you have like a group of people, right? And you literally ask the board a question like let's think, like just any random question, and it's supposed to literally give you a direct answer, like it has its own like the board has its own conscience, or that like a demon is supposed to be contacting you. It's been used in seances, which if you don't know what a seance is, it's literally someone
communicating with the
trying to communicate with the undead. If you've ever seen Stranger Things, it's the same concept as the wall, the lights, where it's like the mom asks, "Where's my son?" and the lights turn on for each letter, right? It's basically that. I haven't watched Stranger Things. Sorry.
Ooh.
So I
Press F for it.
press F. I've never watched Stranger Things. But the board became popular in 1891, in Pittsburgh. And the reason it became so popular really was because of the fact that it was a big evangelical Christian time back then, where Christianity was it was like 95% of Americans back there believed in like deism, or like
rampant.
It's not like it wasn't atheist land like it is today, where it's like where it's like 5% of like young adults. I don't know what the actual statistic is, but it's very small.
Yeah,
young
it's very
adults
small. Yeah.
believe in like Christianity. I'm not gonna go into that though. But that's what it was so popular, because it was a way for families to try and speak to their relatives and
Help with the grieving
get
process.
advice. And a lot of the origin of the board is actually very unknown. The marketing campaign has been under a lot of suspicion.
That's a
about
suspicious.
how it actually works. There's a whole theory. It's kind of a broken theory, but I'll explain later, about how they explain that this board actually works. Sorry, guys. I have just a list of bullets here just to go off of. So basically, what happened was they had this group of people who did a regular seance, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were doing a regular seance with the wall and everything. Well, it was a makeshift. It wasn't a wall. It was a makeshift cardboard like board.
Yeah.
Just regular board. And what they did is they did the exact same seance, and they asked, "What game should we make out of a seance?" They literally asked like the name of the game, or like the type of game, and it literally just came. It literally spelled Ouija, the letters.
Ouija.
Yeah, and it spelled it, and then they went again and asked what Ouija means, and it just spelled out good luck.
Ooh,
which is
that's not good.
A little freaky. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, when they were going to patent this, right? They're like, I have to see this work. Well,
yeah.
And the story is that it's these two patenters that nobody knew the name of. Nobody in the room knew their names at all. Mm-hmm. So what they asked the Ouija board to do, the ritual they did. I don't know if you could call it a ritual.
Yeah, you can call that seance.
But well, literally what they did was they asked the board to say out their full names, and they spelt out the full names of the people.
Wow.
Which, see, I'm not really a firm believer of supernatural type things. It's just like, I don't believe in things without like some sort of explanation.
I mean, I like to play with the idea that it.
I like to play with the idea, but it's like, you also have to think about it. Like this board was patented by somebody. It wasn't just a random like traditional, like.
Didn't come out of your grandmother's basement.
It didn't come out of nowhere. Like this was a patented idea that it was like a light bulb. Like the light bulb was patented and invented. That's exactly what the process the Ouija board went to.
So you have suspicion that it's fake?
Yeah, I have a little bit. Well, there is a little bit of a theory about how the movements work. But basically, and then the thing is, there's never actually there's not an actual statement of how the board works at all. There's nothing saying how the board works. It just says literally the original marketing campaign was the board works and it'll be infinite entertainment. That
okay.
And people bought into it.
Now you have edgy 13-year-olds playing with it.
Now you can go to you can't go to Toys R Us anymore, but
you can buy it at Fry's. I've seen the Ouija board at Fry's.
There's a shopping center near my house that has a toy, the toy store. You seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has Ouija boards in the kids games section.
Yeah,
I'm like, was this seriously put here, or did someone or like at Barnes and Noble, I saw like a Ouija board, like they put it in front of the Bible. I'm gonna put it in the Bible section.
Yeah. Summoning demons on an afternoon.
The Catholic clergy, they hate this Ouija board.
Because
it made its first like pop culture appearance in like The Exorcist.
I mean, there's a lot of. Well, I mean,
there was even actually a movie literally called Ouija. It was not very good.
Oh no, it was trash.
Yeah, it was like one of the worst horror movies of that year.
But like, in like Catholicism, there's demonology. That's what it's called.
Really?
And it discusses like different types of demons. And
give me a type of demon.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I just know that it's a thing, and like there's demons that have like different abilities, and like poltergeists are like the worst ones that you could get. And like,
what is a poltergeist?
Poltergeist is like
what are they classified as?
Like the biggest demon.
Biggest and like
the worst demon you could have. Like manifest itself in like the real world. And
it's the same as because of the whole they hate it because of the magic and like ghostly.
It falls under the category of like witchcraft.
That's the same reason why like in Catholicism they hate like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Because of the magic. There's actual poltergeists in the books. But okay, I'm gonna move on to how scientists
claim
air
how
quotes. There's actual professors in demon art, like
really
in demon communication. That's literally how it's stated, that have researched this thing over their lives. And
Damn.
it's based on this effect called the ideometer effect, which is based on small, like absolutely small, minute movements.
Oh, you mean like those electromagnetic field things?
Yeah, that allow it to move without you even you could think that you're not touching and not putting any force on it, right? But the amount of force it needs to move is so small the what I read was claiming that literally just the thoughts of a person
Could move it.
could move it, right?
So with your alpha waves.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's based on like the light waves
Mm-hmm.
is how how it moves, and it just it's so light. It's a very light piece.
Okay.
It's extremely light. So what they're trying to say is, again,
You're moving it with your brain.
moving it with your brain, which
Uh,
is a little bit of a
That's a
bad
farce.
theory.
Like that's a
Uh,
long stretch, I would
It's-
say.
Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily agree with it, but
Like, a piece of paper is
theory.
lighter than that chip.
and
So in theory, I should be able to
you
move.
should be able to move it with your brain.
Yeah, I should be able to move a piece of paper.
I know I'm not like I said, I don't necessarily agree with it, but that is
Yeah.
the only explanation
That
they have.
Science has.
Probably the electromagnetic field explanation is probably the real one.
I mean, it's questionable because then we'd be able to move a lot more things.
Exactly.
Think about that. Like,
I see, because I think, unfortunately, the people who patented it are dead
shady and dead. Yeah.
and dead,
yeah.
so they can't really tell us how it works.
No, because they didn't. Oh.
But that would probably destroy the appeal of the board.
Yeah.
If they said exactly how it works.
But it's a good question though. Oh, it does work.
It is a good question. I mean, there are people who have spent their lifetimes, the idiometer effect.
When you have people dedicating their entire lives to one thing, you've achieved something.
And a fun fact about this board, what it's been used for, actually.
Mhm.
It actually was able to solve murders.
Oh, that's cute.
And like police investigations. And also there have been reports of like different writers actually using.
Is that credible?
What do you mean credible?
Like using a Ouija board. Is that even remotely?
Like, can that fall under like copyright or?
No. What I'm saying is like, how is that credible to use in like a?
Well,
murder
they didn't
investigation?
use it to actually write it for them. It was more like they got an idea.
Through the Ouija
Like
board?
yeah.
Huh.
I don't know how I don't necessarily think that's super credible, but
Yeah,
that's the thing with the Ouija board is there's a lot of like not so solid.
You're gonna solve a murder case using a Ouija board?
I think honestly, because I think it was just purely coincidental.
Yeah.
There's a lot of more coincidences that happen than most people realize.
Yeah,
And
for sure. I mean, it's speculation.
Speculation, but psychologists have used it to analyze conscious and unconscious thought of the brain.
Wait, so they use Ouija boards to like?
Because they say it's kind of reflective of what you think. At least that's what people have reported.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's really weird, and it's the information that around it again is not very like clear.
Well, it's like
You guys can read the article yourselves that I pulled.
yeah.
That it's a very it gets confusing when it actually tries to delve into how it works. But
They don't really know.
Yeah, no one really knows, and honestly, it probably would stay that way just for the fact that it destroys the magic of the board. If you say how it works,
The mysterious element of it. Yeah.
Why?
So a story that's a little bit more lighthearted.
a little more like how to not talk. Is this about demons?
No.
Is that about the demons?
This is about our Emperor Napoleon. of
Napoleon
France.
Bonaparte.
Yep. So, once upon a time, so when this man, he signed the treaties of Tilsit, in 1807.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll continue.
And like feeling pretty proud of himself, he's like, I want to hunt rabbits. So he got his closest man, and I'm gonna butcher. How would you pronounce that name?
I don't know. I can't see it from here.
Can't see that.
No.
Damn. Sorry, kids.
Berthair. I think it's Berthair. That's how you pronounce it.
Berthair.
Yeah. That's what it
Okay,
looks
so
like to
this
me.
closest man, Berthair, is out here. Napoleon has Berthair get rabbits to shoot. Because that's, don't actually go hunting. You just get like 50 rabbits. No, actually, here's the number. He got 3,000 rabbits to
Mhm.
shoot. Caged. These are all caged rabbits, by the way. So the thing is that Berthair didn't have these rabbits. These rabbits weren't wild. These were tamed rabbits from the local
Excuse me.
market. So, when they released the rabbits, they didn't run off in fear like Napoleon and all his other mates were expecting. They all attacked Napoleon. They started chasing after him.
The rabbits attacked Napoleon?
Yes, the rabbits attacked Napoleon. They actually started jumping on him and actually trying to get into his clothes. See, he actually then started running. Everyone else started running. He actually got into his carriage, and they actually jumped into the carriage after him.
Did he shoot at him yet?
He actually attempted to, but back then
Well, so
they had muskets.
I didn't catch it. What type of rabbits were these? Were they like wild rabid?
No, the thing is, they were tamed. Berthair got these rabbits from a market instead of getting wild rabbits. So they thought Napoleon was a feeder.
Oh.
So they were expecting food from him.
So did they actually start like biting him, or were they just climbing on him?
They're just climbing on him. It's more lighthearted. Cuddly little rabbits trying to chase after Napoleon. But he got in the carriage, and they actually ushered him off, the emperor of the time. So yeah, that's the one.
Is there any information on what happened to the rabbits?
They were captured again. I think Napoleon got like 2 killed, but
Who knows?
yeah.
We don't need to think about that dark stuff.
Yeah, we don't want little bunnies
getting
dying.
chased by like rabbits.
3,000 of them.
3,000 rabbits. It's kind of like, I bet it was kind of. Maybe you could think of like when you go to like a petting zoo,
Yeah.
you get like the feed and like whatever's in there just goes for, like right after you.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah, but it's 3,000 animals.
One time in the 3rd grade, I had a peacock chase me. The scariest moment of
Well,
my life.
I had a llama bite my ass.
Really?
No joking. Sorry for the vulgarity, but he bit me on the butt.
Damn.
Yeah, because I was little and I had feet in my pocket a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He just like snapped me. It was, it's a interesting analysis how animals work though, and how they adapt, and
Yeah.
realize who like their feeders and stuff would be.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable.
It's the same concept of like what herders do, huh?
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of.
Kind of like that.
Well, okay. This is last story I have. It's a little bit short,
That's fine.
and it goes back to more of a
Darker tone.
It's more of a theoretical type thing.
Oh,
It's
okay.
more of ancient. It's the story behind why the bunny is the Easter bunny. Why is the Easter bunny of all
2
thing?
stories related about bunnies.
Yeah, what have you ever asked yourself when you're eating chocolate bunnies why we're eating bunnies?
Yeah, all
For-
the time.
Coincidentally, we had 2 stories about rabbits. Well, in Christian art, rabbits are usually associated with rebirth and resurrection, and obviously in the time of Easter, in Christian belief, Easter is a time of resurrection
Mm-hmm.
and sacrifice of Jesus Christ on the cross. So, in a Christian sense, that's probably why that became the sort of like symbol. It's more of like a symbol,
Yeah.
right?
That is
They-
weird though that like rabbits are associated.
It's just in art, and that could be in that type. It could be like 14th century, or it can go back to like ancient classical era art,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's not too much information on where, what time period is coming from. They're thinking more like between like 1st and 14th century, somewhere around there. It's definitely classical art. It's not Renaissance art at all.
Okay.
It's around that time period.
Yeah.
But also with rebirth and resurrection, they've always been associated with Mary Magdalene, Mother of Christ, and that's another theory that a lot of historians have is a lot of it's based off of Christian and faith belief, really.
Okay.
Why rabbits?
Why rabbits are associated?
I know this is a completely random story. I mean,
all these
and there's no
stories are.
real answer actually. There's multiple theories, but there's no
no solid.
Yeah, archaeologists, historians have not been able to pinpoint it.
I mean, there's a lot of stories like that. Out there.
Some say if we're going to Anglo-Saxon history, which is England, England and English, basically Anglo-Saxons. They think it's based off the god Hare is the name.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, the Hare is based off of my mistake. The god's name is Ostara, and it's associated. The god is associated with the hare, which is a form of rabbit.
Interesting.
Which that's how they think maybe an Anglo-Saxon belief.
Okay.
And they Ostara always represented like the sun and spring, and that's why they think even though maybe Easter never necessarily the whole process of Jesus' sacrifice maybe not have happened around the spring, but the reason it's associated with springtime is because of the representation of spring and the sun, and rabbits were present during the springtime.
Like, oh, well, I mean, it's like new life.
New life.
Yeah.
Because like you have the winter where everything dies, and then right afterwards you have a spring where everything's growing and everything's prosperous.
Yeah.
That's the whole symbol behind it.
Mm-hmm.
It's also been mentioned in like different texts. One of the most common ways people think that it's originated and they wouldn't be faulted for it is through German folk tales. That's where a lot of the
oh yeah, there's a lot of folk tales that come from Germany.
Yeah, I don't know the reasoning why behind it. I haven't delved too much into it, but I know they were really into that type of literature.
Like Heidi. Heidi was a
Heidi is a German. Hansel and Gretel. It's probably more. There's there's definitely more, but I can't think of any more. There's probably do you think Little Red Riding Hood's from German literature?
I'm not
German
sure.
folk stories?
I think maybe.
Maybe.
I'm not sure though.
I don't know. It's a brief story and it's short, but it just offers some insight. I mean, we're both to all the history nuts out there, I hope you enjoyed this part. I like history a lot. You'll hear us talk about history a lot.
Yeah, we're
on here. We like to make fun of the 40s.
Yeah, all the time.
A lot. And it's part of kind of who we are.
Yeah, we're history nuts.
We always make jokes like no one else would find this funny.
Yeah, it's really unique that we just joke about history. Like we'll make offhanded jokes about like World War II and stuff. It's so dumb.
I like the civil rights movement and stuff like that.
So I mean,
it's also easy to understand why people find history like the most boring subject.
Yeah, I mean, we understand that.
Yeah.
But like,
I think it's just
a lot of interesting stories.
I think it's just based off of usually what happens is like, especially towards later high school, they literally just repeat things that you already learned in like 4th grade.
Yeah, I don't really care about hearing about like Quincy Adams or
like the founding fathers and stuff.
Yeah,
like again.
Especially
it's interesting. It's just the fact that like especially in the United States, we hear about it over and over again, and I bet like in Britain you hear about the English Bill of Rights over and over again, or in like France you hear about like
oh yeah,
like
Napoleon
and the whole revolution.
Yeah, revolution. Yeah.
And then Italy's probably like the Renaissance era.
Yeah.
That's where it literally happened.
I mean, yeah.
And we don't really know for sure because we didn't grow up there and we didn't get educated there. But
I have an aunt that has a condo on the beach side in Italy.
Really? What does she say about Italy?
Oh, she thinks it's beautiful there.
Beautiful there.
Yeah, she lives out there.
Yeah, I know someone who actually went to Rome not that long ago.
She's my great aunt.
Your great aunt.
Yeah.
Huh.
I got to meet her just like 2 months ago. So yeah, that was really nice. First time I ever met
I
her.
don't know. I see history. The preservation of it's just kind of like a portal to the past. You know.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
I think history is a really good thing to learn, and I mean I understand why it could be boring for some people, but I honestly think that if we don't know about the past, we're doomed to what's that saying?
You're doomed for the future.
Yeah,
basically.
something like that.
It's along those lines. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's do a little wrap up. In conclusion,
This was our very first episode, everybody.
yeah.
And I hope you got to know us a little bit better because you're gonna be, those of you listening are gonna be with us for a long while.
Yeah. Yeah, just be a little easy on us. This is the first time we've ever done anything like this.
Yeah.
We're, I mean,
Make sure to give us some good feedback.
yeah, we'll please actually give us constructive criticism. What we need to do better, what we could change. Because constructive criticism will help us grow.
Yeah. We may even discuss the effect of construction criticism one day.
So I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, we'll definitely talk about constructive criticism.
But
so do we want to give them a little drop on what next episode's going to be about?
Let's make it a surprise.
Want to keep it a surprise? Okay.
Yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I had fun recording this.
Next episode's going to be great, by the way.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to probably be one of my favorites.
But
yeah, you had fun doing this? I enjoyed myself.
Yeah. It was really interesting to do this for the first time. Plus, we dropped a lot of money.
Yeah, we dropped some money on this.
Yeah,
this was an investment. Yeah.
We bought the best equipment for you guys. We want to make
but
the
it
best
makes you
audio
feel good when
experience
you
for you
invest
guys.
into something and you actually
Yeah,
get something back for it. You know.
This has been a project idea for 3 months of ours. We really want to do it.
And you know,
we're doing it.
If it's 100 or 10 people that listen,
Who cares?
we'll still be doing this. So.
We're doing it for the hell of it because we enjoy having a conversation with it. I mean, the whole reason why we're having this combo is because we'll stay up until 2 a.m. in the morning having conversations with each other
Exactly.
about random stuff,
The dumbest stuff.
But we find it would be pretty interesting if we had some people listening on it.
Yeah. So hope you guys enjoyed and have a good day.
Yeah. See you guys.